Hi, my name is Kate. Welcome to my 15th FlossTube. Today I've got a couple of things that I've finished off since last fortnight. I have some new works in progress and some continuous works in progress from last time. I have a couple of things that I want to talk about and some cool things that I want to share. So let's get started. So I want to begin with talking about my website update that I've mentioned last fortnight. It's coming along as expected. It's not bad, it's not good. I'm still hoping to get it online this month. So next FlossTube, it should be live, which would be great. Just a reminder that it is changing my shop completely. I'm removing the ability to basically download anything almost for free. So if you do want any of my patterns, now is the time to get on it before I flick the switch and change everything. So that's exciting. I'm very nervous again about my reception for it. The couple people that I've talked to about it have said, you should have done it ages ago, or I'm surprised that it went on this long, or stuff like that. So fingers crossed that I don't ruffle too many feathers and upset too many people, but hopefully it will be a really good change for quality of life regarding my shop process and the checkout and stuff. So keep your fingers crossed and keep your eyes peeled for that, because that'll be good. The next thing that I want to share is some backstory, I guess, before I share it. I'm in a little group of stitches. We call ourselves a bunch of biddies. We did our second gift exchange this past year. I received my gift and I wanted to share it because it's very, very cute. I got a cool drink thing, which I've left downstairs, but not a drink, a cup that she used a cricket to take my logo and put it on the bottle, which is really cool. But she made me this as well, which is perfect because I love me a good swear. And I feel very fortunate because she doesn't do many floral work. So that's very nice. And there's the back. I need to get myself more fabric that's simple like this. And she also, so before we started any of the stitching for each other, a few of us shared some backstory on ourselves or events that we stitched and things like that. I mentioned that I didn't have a photographer when my husband and I got married because we went to the courthouse and it was very low-key. And so if I could have my husband and I stitch, that'd be awesome. So this is my husband and I when we got married. And yeah, I thought it was very, very adorable. And there's the back. That's very special. So thank you, Rachel. Yeah, so I've got to now find somewhere to hang these. I'll probably put this one somewhere here, and it's got one of my hairs on it, and the one of my husband and I will probably go in our bedroom, because we've got a little entryway into our bedroom. But yeah, I'll figure that out and that'll be awesome. I want to move on to finished pieces. I have only one that I can show you in person, as much as in person is right now. But I have 3 others that, 2.5-ish, that have been sent off. I say 2.5 because one of them I considered a finished piece last fortnight. But that one and yeah, 2 other pieces got mailed off yesterday. I probably should have hung on to them and done the FlossTube with them in person, but I am kind of miffed because I forgot to take a video of one of them. So I at least got photos, but I'm kind of kicking myself about that. So, but anyway, I did the 2 Christmas ornaments. They're finished. This is one of them, which is very cute. I'm waiting to hear back from my customer on a mailing address, which is why it didn't get shipped off. I'm starting to get a little bit worried about why she hasn't emailed me back, because she's paid in full and she sent me the picture to work with and all of that, so I'll just have to wait. But the other ornament I will show a picture of because I forgot to take a video. I finished the chicken, so the little portrait of Robin the chicken, and I also completed the 2,000 follower giveaway piece that I stitched, which was a wedding portrait with the bubbles that I streamed myself doing the little bubbles, and some other bits and pieces were streamed of that piece as well. But that one came out really nice and I'm really happy with it, and my customer is very excited to receive it. So I should check tracking on that actually. I think that might arrive as early as Tuesday for all of them, which will be great. But anyway, so they're the finished pieces that I've done this fortnight. I don't have a lot of new stuff that's a work in progress that you guys haven't seen, but I do have stuff. So this one has a strand at the back. You saw the start of this one, and I've done a fair bit of work on it because this one's I've been bringing with me to school pickup a fair bit. So this is my pattern that I don't know if I'm going to release, called Bird Shit. I might end up releasing the border as a pattern, I don't know, without these little bits here. But that one's coming along nicely. I'm deliberately saving the words until last. So all I've got to do is the dark green, which you can see I've started, and that's what is on my needle. And then I'll be able to move on to the wording. That one's coming along very quickly, which is surprising. There is a lot of color changing, and I'm doing okay with not carrying my thread everywhere, but I have gotten a bit lazy in some places. So that's the back. The next work in progress I have is Pretty Little Sydney. I'm just gonna move my floss out of the way, try to anyway, because I was mid-stitch when I stopped. So I've done a little bit on this, just some more blue. I finished the dark blue, the darkest blue, which you can see here. I'm now working on the next color blue, which I'm up here, as you can see. So I'm doing this like straight line that way. And this little man finally has shorts, which is good. But this one is coming along fast, actually. I filled in a couple of spaces of the lighter blue that I started, and I did ages ago over here. I did a couple of bits like this bit here, and I finished this little bit here that was missing some blue, but I'm gonna leave that blue and continue down my list of color order. Yeah, that one's exciting. I would expect that I'd probably finish this no later than the end of March, unless something comes up. Like if I get a bunch of orders or something. But that's that one. Next work in progress I have is my own family portrait. I did the design for it on my last stream. It was really quick, which surprised me. And I gathered all my floss together on Friday and I began stitching. So far I've done some heads and some hands. So I always start my Stitch People portrait skin first, and that way I can get everyone in position, I guess. I took a bit of liberty on my outfit. I didn't copy the photo that I was using for everyone else from our family, a Christmas photo last year, because when I got the photos back, I hated my outfit. So I dressed myself completely different. I did include my moon boot because I did tell myself when I started all these family portraits, I would stitch us how we were in the final week of that year, and I was still wearing my moon boot then. So this is the pattern, the printed pattern at least. So you can see I've got this big chunky boot on. It's kind of hard to tell like what's going on because it's a pattern, so it's got all those symbols all over the place, but that's us. I'm very excited because this is the first year that my oldest daughter is wearing glasses in hers, so, and I think she looks adorable in glasses. I will actually show you, because it's been a little while since I've shared them. I have the 2 previous years from this one on hand. So I will grab them and I will show you those. As I've mentioned, I went back to 2012 to begin stitching these, but the rest of them are hanging on the wall because they're completely finished. These ones aren't completely finished. So there's 2019. This was when we were living in Los Angeles. And my youngest looks so tiny there, which is super cute. That was the first year that we got this cat, who's named Milo. And then this was the next year, so 2020. So this was us in face masks because pandemic. I decided to not do face masks for the previous year, like as in 2021. Because although the little face masks are a cute change, I didn't want to keep that going until the pandemic finishes, whatever that means. Yeah, I thought it might be kind of cute to do the moon boot for myself because, yeah, I busted my toe and I did a really good job, which I don't think I talked about since I've had my last appointment, but I will talk about that later. So, as I said, I started this piece and I'm excited to work on my own family portrait because I only do it once a year. The last work in progress I have is the stitch along. So I have the finished piece, which I shared last fortnight. I hope I shared it last fortnight. Was I still working on it? I don't even remember. I think I had finished it. So since last fortnight, the stitch along began. And this is the work in progress that I'm doing live. And I'm going to talk about it more in depth a bit later. I'm glad that I'm more than halfway through, basically. I still love the little Christmas lights and the scarf. The scarf looks really cool. And the trees, oh, the trees took forever. They took almost 2 whole days to stream. But anyway, so that's coming along nicely. If you want to, you can join the stitch along. As you can see what we have left, that's what's left. Except for this bit up here, I was demonstrating a stitch up here. Everything else that's listed, like shown in the blue mark, is what we've got left to go. But if you want to, you can join in. All of the sessions have been saved here on YouTube and over on my Instagram channel. So you can go back and catch up. You can even like skip through the parts that I fumble and and yeah, just take time to do. And it's obvious, like with the trees, once you see what I do, then it's like, okay, well I can do that. I don't need to follow you every stitch that you make. But anyway, the pattern's on my website. It's also on Etsy, but the Etsy one is 50 cents dearer because of Etsy fees. But yeah, it's not too late to join if you want to. So that's all the works in progress that I have going on, which actually is more than I realized, but that's okay. Mostly because I keep forgetting about this one. The next thing that I want to share is my Christmas present from my mum. So you may have noticed this behind me. I got this. It arrived late last week, actually mid last week. And this is super awesome because it has real floss in it. Isn't it beautiful? I love it so much. I've already used it. Oh, there's a little bit of glue on the front of that one. But anyway, it's got all of the newest 35 colors. It has some specialty flosses. So like these ones, which feel really cool. It's got pearl metallic. It's got, yeah, it's so pretty. It doesn't have all of the floss, of course. It would have to be enormous for that. Like it doesn't have the Atoli thread. It doesn't have the colorist threads. Colorist? Yeah, colorist threads. The ones that change like crazy colors. So some of them like purple to yellow, for example. It doesn't have those ones. It's got the variegated floss. and I don't know what those ones are called. Anyway, I'm like just gazing at it, sorry. Super pretty, and I love it very much. And I should probably just get rid of this one now. So thank you, Mum. It's gonna come in very handy. I don't have to keep using the website that I've been using that doesn't represent colors exactly the same way, pretty much. Before I talk about IRL things, I placed an order with moo.com, so that's MOO.com, who've been doing my business cards forever. Even before I started stitching, I did business cards with them when I was a freelance web designer and developer. Their business cards are like super nice quality, and I love that you can get one side of the card printed on every card, and the other side of the card you can have like many different images on that side. So I placed an order for a bunch of new business cards because I realized I've got one left. So I uploaded, I think like 25 photos of finished pieces. I will get 25 different backs of business cards. So I like them very much. I also got some more little round stickers. If you haven't placed an order with me before, I have these little like ceiling stickers that I use. So that's them. They're just little circles just to add a nice little touch to my packaging. So I got some more of those, and I got some thank you cards that I've been meaning to do for ages. So if you place an order, you get an extra little special thing, because it's not just a thank you card, it's gonna have something else on it. So that's exciting, and I should expect that early February because it takes a bit of time to print, and I didn't want to pay like $30 to get expedited shipping because I'm not in a rush. So the last topic is IRL stuff, and some of it is stitchy related. The first thing that I want to bring up is stitch alongs. So as I mentioned, I'm doing a stitch along right now. It's the Winter Vibes piece, and I will admit that I am not enjoying it. I enjoy the thought of doing embroidery. I enjoy the thought of the lead up and the hype and the displaying of my work and all of that for a stitch along. But each session for the stitch along, I am kind of dreading the time. I feel pressured, I feel anxious, I feel nervous to make sure that I show that I know what I'm talking about, pretty much. And if you caught my live session on Thursday, you will have gotten an example of me fumbling and struggling to pick the bowl up again. So I need to fix it. I've already got a note saying that I need to fix it, but I made a big error in the pattern and it threw me off completely because I thought I had misnamed the stitch we were going to do. And so I had to stop, I had to check on the internet that the stitch was the one we were going to do, and it wasn't. So I was going to misname a stitch and demonstrate it, and it was completely wrong. I also put down the wrong color in the pattern. And then eventually like it got so much in my head that I completely forgot how to do the stitch while I had half a dozen people watching, which is not a lot, but it's still something. So I was extremely embarrassed about that. It was just, an example that you guys would be able to see of me not enjoying that part of the process. I am looking forward to this stitch along ending, and I will definitely only begin another stitch along when I'm ready, which I have no idea when that will be. I have talked about what I want to do instead for embroidery patterns on here, and I'm definitely going to give that a try. It's a lot less pressure, it's a lot less maintenance, it's a lot more flexible in time of recording and things like that. So I'm hopeful that that will be a good alternative, at least in the interim, because I do like designing embroidery patterns. I do like stitching them. And I don't want to stop all of that just because I don't like the stitch along part of the embroidery process. So I'm sorry for those of you who might be upset about this news. That's not my intent. It's more just to be open and honest, and open and honest to myself too, and say that it's not all bad necessarily, because yeah, there will be an alternative that I'll be trying. I will probably take a little bit of a break between the end of the stitch along and when that begins to like drip into my YouTube or wherever I end up uploading it. It'll likely be YouTube, and then I'll like do snippets or something on Instagram. I don't know, but it will happen. One thing that I want to bring up, which is confusing me, is the last couple of Januaries I've always had at least one order post Christmas to work on, and now I don't have anything. So if you are wanting a Stitch People portrait or an embroidery piece or a cross stitch piece or something, now is your time to hit me up, because the turnaround time would be very quick. I've never really been one to have many orders going on at once, like a lot of people who do Stitch People portraits, for example, they have wait lists and they open up X amount of orders and they sell out like that. I've never had that kind of success, so it shouldn't be that unusual, but it's still like, usually I've got an order to work on, and right now I don't, so it's I'm a little bit lost, I guess. The second last thing I want to talk about is my wall. So I tried hanging up stuff on my wall couple of months ago now, actually, and it was fine for a FlossTube, and then suddenly overnight, I think it was, or over a couple of nights, all of them fell down, and that's because I was using command hooks, and my wall's kind of textured, so I guess the command hooks weren't good enough. I don't know, but I'm still kind of bummed about my wall being so boring and plain. I'm thinking I'm gonna just have to resort to banging in a bunch of nails, because I really want to hang up some of my work. I've got so many things that I've made that I want to keep, that I don't want to sell, and I want to display them. Right now they're up there, just out of shot in a pile, which is like kind of sad. So I need to fix that. If you have any ideas about alternative options that are similar to command hooks, that, you know, don't put a hole in the wall or something like that. I did consider getting like a rod, a wooden rod or something, and running it along, I don't know, something, either two parts of the wall or under this shelf or something like that, and hanging them up that way, because I can't do a string because everything will just go shoom in the middle. But if I had this rod, then I could do different lengths of string to, you know, to hang up each piece. So like a long one for ones that hang down lower, or a short one. So I was thinking about that, and that would be less damaging to the wall. I don't know. But if you have any ideas, let me know, because yeah, I want to pretty up my little corner of the house, I guess. And the last thing that I want to talk about is completely not twolittlekits related, because I just realized that the other three things were. I have been doing a lot of soul searching. I have been doing a lot of difficult thinking. I don't know how else to put it. And now that I've been out of my moon boot for 2.5 weeks, I think. And I mean, my toe's not perfect. It's still very broken, but it is not in constant pain. By the end of the day, I'm a little bit uncomfortable, but I can get around perfectly fine, as long as someone doesn't like kick my toe or stand on it. My daughter, she keeps accidentally standing on my feet. Yeah, as long as that doesn't happen, it's okay. So I need to stop using it as an excuse to not take care of myself, basically. I I have always been unhappy in my own body. That has been a fact since puberty, basically. But once I became an adult and I got a car and I moved out of my house and all of that, I really became uncomfortable in my own body. I have not been taking good care of myself regarding like drinking water and eating healthy and stuff. And since breaking my toe, it's just been like a snowball effect, and I've just, not taken good care of myself, and it's been really difficult. So I've made the decision to sign up for Noom. I am hoping that having that accountability, because I've done calorie counting before, so it's not unusual to me what it is, but the psychology thing behind it is interesting, and the way that it does track your food intake is better than what I've used in the past. And it has, I just today got a one-on-one coach, so that should be helpful, I hope. I'm taking drastic steps forward in trying to take care of myself. So I'm saying this not to show off, not to, I don't know. I'm saying this because I feel like saying it aloud and saying it to the internet is a good way of holding myself accountable, because I'm making this declaration. I'm saying that I am going to improve, and hopefully the manifestation and all that kind of jargon. I don't know, but something has to change. I'm not getting any younger. I'm in my mid-30s and I have 2 kids that I want to be a good example for. So I'm making serious steps in improving my health, and it's scary, and I am trying to not tell myself that this will just fail like every other time, which is hard. So wish me luck. And I don't plan on like posting about it on my Instagram, for example. I did do that a couple of years ago on my personal account. I was using that to hold myself accountable, but eventually it just got too much work. I don't want that kind of thing to happen and be an excuse for failure again. So all of that to say is I'm unhealthy, and I'm trying to get healthy. So wish me luck. But anyway, I think that's everything. On the note of getting healthy, I have this ginormous bottle, and it's a monster. But I hate drinking water. Drinking water is boring. So I'm hoping that this giant bottle, because I have 2 other bottles from this same brand. I've talked about this on my stream, but basically this white thing in the middle here is a flavor dispenser, and you can twist the top to determine how much flavor comes out. So you get a new, what's called a sip in it. When you run out, you put a new one in. So I've got 2 more of these bottles, but I just got this ginormous, I think it's like 32 ounces, which is almost a liter. I got this one because I kept looking at my other bottles and saying, oh, but I'm not that thirsty right now, and I might be really thirsty later, and I don't want to have to get up and go and fill the water bottle again. So that's trying to negate that train of thought. But anyway, this time, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I've got some cool things to share next fortnight, but I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot to share, I'll be honest. I don't have any orders. So if you know of any people or yourself that want some stitchy art, send them my way, or come talk to me, because I love making pieces for people. I love making pieces, and it's better, in my opinion, for other people, because then I don't fill out my whole house with embroidery and cross stitch, and then my husband will be like, there's too much. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!